Hey guys, Blue Clay coming at you. I know it's kind of the middle of the day today, but I had a few minutes here before I go do what I have to do today. And I was watching some news, and I don't watch mainstream news. If I turn on mainstream news, it's normally Fox. Um, and sometimes they're just as bad as the other ones. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I'm a liberal or a conservative. I have my own beliefs on all that. And it's really not important, but what I'm talking about here. But he uses some interesting vocabulary here while he is describing some stuff. So I'm gonna let you listen to a couple of seconds of this and see if you guys can see what it says, and maybe yeah.
Because the people of our country want security. We want to be a secure country. We don't want drugs pouring in. Most of our drugs come in through the southern border, and they don't come in through the portals. They come in between the portals where you have no barrier.
Okay, what did he just say? Okay, I actually stopped what I was doing and turned my head when he said this. Okay, and I don't do that a lot, but I will say this: he used the word portal. Okay, now I would encourage you guys to go watch this whole video. I'll leave a link. But you can this is just a conference he gave, today before heading down to the wall to do an interview, I believe, with Sean Hannity. I think that's what's going on today. But he was going to go down to the border there and, just try to strum up some confidence for people or what have you. Or just show that, hey, he's serious about this and, the government shut down. I'm not even going to go into the political part of this. But earlier on in this video, he uses the word checkpoint. Okay, and then when he gets to this part, he uses portal. Why did he change? Because he's talking about the same exact thing. Okay, one early in the video he called it checkpoint. Later on in the video he called it a portal. And I want you guys to watch this too. Watch his hands. Watch what he does with his hands.
We want to be a secure country. We don't want drugs pouring in. Most of our drugs come in through the southern border, and they don't come in through the portals. They come in between the portals where you have no barrier.
Okay, did you see what he just did there? He actually made a circle with his hands when he said portal. Okay, I've never ever talked to somebody that was going to Canada or Mexico, said, hey man, I got to go through that portal over there and go through customs. They're saying checkpoint. That's that's the word for it, okay? But he chooses to use the word portal there. Why? Okay? Now we talk about the desensitizing, we talk about soft disclosure, we talk about a whole lot of things. And it's all theory and all that kind of thing, and I do think that desensitizing is a real thing because I've actually experienced that in my own life, and I think most of us have. Just to put it in perspective, there was a local newscast yesterday, or maybe within the past week. There was a couple that had lost a family member, and the husband walked up and shot the mother right in the head. Okay? Now, the local news reported it and said, hey, you need to get your kids out of the room because we're going to show this graphic content. Alright, so when they did that, I watched, and yeah, it was a little bit disturbing, but it didn't shock me. Okay? That's what I mean by desensitizing. Or, and it's one of those things where it should have bothered me, is basically what I'm saying. I mean, they showed it all. Up to the point where she hit the ground. So, I mean, at point blank range. And it wasn't like, you see some big Freddy Krueger movie or nothing like that. But it was still, because they were at the cemetery burying their family member, and this dude walked right up and did that. Okay? So, what's that have to do with us? Well, what have we been talking about? for the past week. Mr. MBB3 just put out a video, and I used it, at least some captures off of it. What did we see? Okay. Well, most of you guys have already probably seen this video, but look at that. Okay, that's a portal. We were talking about this, right? Like a Stargate or whatever this is. Okay. Why would Donald Trump change from checkpoint to portal? Okay, like I said, those words had to be up front in his mind to use them, right? So I don't think he really meant to call him a portal. I think that's just where his mind was at that specific time. And the reason why it was there, my guess is he was having conversations with people about stuff that we research here. And it came out in his vocabulary. That's what I think happened. And it could be something as innocent as, hey, I just actually used the wrong word. Okay? But it just really struck me funny. Okay? That he used that word, plus did the old hand signature making a circle. Okay, have you guys ever went through a circle when you went to Mexico? So why would that have been done? You know? So that is what it is, guys. That was the main reason I brought you guys here today, right here at this video, because that was just so weird to me. Now, I did catch this, okay? This is from a stereo satellite here. I get stereo A ahead. Yep. Obviously, you see that. It almost looks like there's a sphere there on the top there. Like right in there. Yeah. Okay. Then I go to this one. It's over here. Different time. Different, timestamp there at the bottom. And that's basically the same image. I believe it's probably like a shadow. The camera sometimes will produce that when it does see something for real. It'll see a real bright object, and then it'll put a shadow basically on the camera, and it just picks it up this direction. Okay, so it's almost like a mirror image of that first one I showed you. But then I get this. Okay, these are all the same shape. This one here seems to be closer to the satellite because it's bigger. Okay, that one's kind of further away, so it's kind of smaller. At least that's how I think. Okay. I wanted to show that to you guys too. And I got some more stuff. I might do another video later on. But I just thought that was so crazy that he did that. That he used that word portal. So, anyway, think about that, Go watch that press conference. It's pretty informative and gives a pretty good idea where the clash is coming from here with this whole government shutdown. And again, I'm sorry I'm talking about this kind of stuff, but it did tie into what we research. I try to stay out of the political arena altogether, but it does come into play, and it does point to stuff that may happen. So we're just going to leave it at that. God bless. Yeshua saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.